Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to do another resin tray. Today I'm using Lett's Resin Regular, epoxy resin made for molds and things like that. It's not the fast cure. And I mixed up 14 ounces. I used my Resiners dual-headed resin mixer. There'll be a link that you can click on at the top of the video. It's even wireless. You can charge it up and then not have a cord to fool with, that's in the way. So I'm going to let it sit, and I started my timer after I finished mixing, and we're at about 18 minutes. Very quickly, I'm going to use some little black glass bits Bonnie box, and I got them from Amazon. I'll share that link. All links are below my video. Today I'm going to use Armor Art white epoxy pigment paste. You can used to get it on Amazon, but if you can't, you can get it at Counterculture DIY, which is usually the fast set that I use at the end of the video for backgrounds and my top coats. I'll put a few drops of alcohol ink in my white mixture. If you see me using a powder, it's going to be White Crystal by Etsy Funshine Color Shop. I'm going to put my mask on as soon as I finish talking here. I'm going to mix up about 2 ounces at the most of resin with the white mixture. But then I'm going to try to do a sunflower effect, and I'm going to try to put it in with my stick. I don't know how much luck I'll have with that. I'm going to use Ray's that's called Butter, and it's kind of a yellow shimmery alcohol ink. I'm also going to put in lemon, Lett's Resin dye. I'm just going to put in a hint to make it like a pale yellow, and then I may deepen it as I do my petals. I'm not sure. This mold holds, I don't know how many ounces, but I'm only going to put at the most 10 ounces in here. I've got 2 5-inch coaster molds, and I'm going to put about an ounce and a half in these. They aren't going to be really on the camera. I'm going to focus more on the tray because that's more important. So I'm going to put my mask on, use ones that have the filters for gases and odors and vapors, and I'll be right back. It's 38 minutes. Stopping my timer. Gonna wait about 5 hours or so. Didn't go as well as I planned because to do it with a stick, it takes so much longer than a piping bag. So, I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens. Pray that it turns out pretty well. And I'll be back in a little bit. I also have a resin mixing 101 basics video. It's video 1058. I'll put a link to that so that you can see how I mix all of my resins, no matter the brand or the viscosity. I do it all the same. So you can refer to that video just for a basic mixing video. So I'll be back. Okay, it's evening time and it's still very flexible. I'm used to working with counterculture, which cures really kind of quickly, like in 4 or 5 hours. So this Let's Resin has a much longer cure time than I'm used to. I went ahead and mixed up 9 more ounces. I'm going to put aside an ounce-ish, and then I'm going to put the rest of the clear into the molds, not really knowing how much I need. Just want a thin layer. And then started my timer, so right now we're at 9 minutes. And I'm going to wait till at least 15 or so to really start doing anything, maybe closer to 20. I got a nice thin layer. I could have mixed a couple more ounces for sure. So I've got maybe about 7 or so in the mold here, the tray, and I probably could have put 9 or 10. But it doesn't matter. I can still work with this. Okay, I think that's going to work, I hope. So I'm going to cover it and let it sit overnight. Be back tomorrow. Okay, so we've got the tray and I'm hoping it's going to be pretty, and the 2 coasters off camera here. And I have mixed up 5 ounces of Fast Set by Counterculture DIY. That is my go-to for top coats and backgrounds because it sets up in an hour or 2 and has about a 10 or 15 minute working time. This is still flexible, and that part just kind of throws me off a lot because I'm not used to that. When I used Counterculture, it didn't do that. It was hard by the next day. And this is, Let's Resin. So a little bit difficult to get used to that. I did want to show you, if you flip it over, you can kind of see, and behind a white background or a white background behind it, I think it kind of loses a little bit, so that's why I want to put a green. And this is older resin, it's a little ambered, and that's fine because I'm going to color it. So you don't see, if if it's ambered or not when you color your resin. It's resin dye, and it's green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So dye is different from alcohol ink. Alcohol inks are also known or rumored to fade in the sunshine, but I always tell people don't put your resin pieces in direct sunlight, no matter what. Anything in direct sunlight is going to fade over time. Furniture, fabric, and everything. Okay, so that's just a little bit of the tint. And then I'm going to put Lily Pad, which is by this little piggy. Put just a little bit on my spoon. And Emerald, which is another of this little piggy. And this is the dark green. I kind of want to find a happy medium. So we're just mixing the concoction for now. I don't want a lot of mica to where it's like super metallic-y looking. I just want a hint of shimmer, but I don't want the background to be so transparent that you can see all the way through it. And I'm going to put a few more drops of the resin dye. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I've got School Bus by Etsy Funshine Color Shop. I'm going to get a little bit of that, put it on my spoon and put that in. Clover alcohol ink. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And this is starting to warm up because it is fast set by Counterculture. It's not the turbo, which they do have, which is I think mostly made for tumbler, people that work with tumblers. Again, you have about 15 minutes to work with at tops. I think I'm going to add a couple of drops of the yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take this out because the mold is full. So here you can see that. It looks pretty good. It's very florally. It's going to require a top coat, and I may put knobs. I'm going to put paper towels down just because I have some mica powders and things on my surface that I don't know if it would pick up on the top of my tray. I'm going to put a little bit in my coaster molds because they have some room. When you get it on this clear, you can obviously see how transparent it is. I would have liked it a little stronger in color. Sometimes in the cup it looks different from when it actually goes on the real project. I'm going to take my silicone brush and spread it out. It's very thick and syrupy. That's why I like to use it for top coats and things, because you don't have to tape off the bottom or use masking fluid. You can just kind of spread it, and I shouldn't have put it on a paper towel though, because that's slippery. The color reminds me of the old-fashioned Coke bottles or whatever, soda bottle glass. That's what it reminds me of. My room is probably about 70, it says 73, but my air is running, and I think that cools down your resin quicker as well, which makes it thicken up pretty quickly. So again, you gotta hustle. I know that's a little off camera, but I have some drips. I don't want to put my tray in the drips. I'll give this a couple hours and then I'll be back. Okay, we'll unmold the coasters first. Okay, here we go. There's that one. There's that one. I knew that one had a weird puddle that was thick, so this is still flexible. And here's the tray, which I think the flower part turned out pretty. And now I need to decide if I'm going to do handles, but I'm definitely going to do a top coat. And I almost feel like it needs something around the edge. So I'm going to think about this for a minute and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I've mixed 4 ounces of fast set resin again. And I'm going to go ahead and spread it out. I already put it on the coasters. It only takes about a ½ ounce or less for coasters. 15-minute working time tops, so you have to work quickly. Again, for any viscosity, any brand, there's the same mixing method that I use. It's video 1058. You can refer to that. So I'm just dragging this out with my silicone brush. I'm dragging it out to the edge of the resin piece, all the way to the edge, but it kind of stops right on the edge because it is like a syrup kind of consistency, which is exactly why I use this for top coats and flood coats, or background layers as well. A top coat and a flood coat is the same thing. The only difference this time is we are going to put handles on it, which will set the handles in permanently. This is a great way to do it. You don't have to drill holes and screw knobs in. You can use any knob that has a flat bottom. Just stick it right into this resin and it'll stay permanently. Okay, just want to make sure I got all the way to the edges. If you feel like you've accidentally gone over the edge, just run your finger, gloved finger around just to make sure that you didn't go over. I have taken silver and gold glass bits and then the black glass bits, and I've mixed them together so it's a mixture. So I'll put it in the cup, and I'm just going to try to put a little layer around the edges. It's going to go over the edges. Woo! I've got 6 minutes on my clock that I've had this mixed, so I am keeping an eye on my time. And then I'm just going to spread around and move around those little bits on the edges. If for some reason it goes over, just use your finger to get it back on the top. So I'm going to take my clean hand with nothing on my fingers and then put the knob in. Make sure they're kind of even across from each other, and you're going to just push and wiggle. So it kind of creates a vacuum under that resin. I'm just going around the edges to make sure nothing is on the sides. It's 10 minutes now. This might be a little harder on the coasters. We're going to give it a go. So 11 minutes, almost 12 minutes. So I'm just scooting some stuff around. You definitely want the glass bits on the edge of the coaster because if you had any in the middle that were sticking up, it would prevent you from placing a cup or whatever, coffee cup or glass on it because of the three-dimensional part of it. Then I'm going to go right up to that knob, around it a little bit, and just try to get close to it. But don't put the resin on your knob, obviously. So back to my clean finger, pushing again, and just kind of shimmying it. Go around the edge, make sure you don't have any pieces on the edge. So it's been 20 minutes and I'm not going to mess with it anymore, and we will check it in a couple of hours and I'll be able to show you the finished look. I'll be back. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Love you all.